Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to film today's video because it is my favorite type of video to film. Please hold while I grab what we need for this video. We're gonna be choosing my February TBR together using my TBR jar. Now, I have to tell you what just happened before I hit record. I was, trying to get my TBR cart over here, innocently rolling it across my office to film in this spot, and one of the wheels literally fell off of the TBR cart. So I'm not gonna be doing any spinning of the TBR cart today. There are a few books on the back and I'll just have to kind of lean back and look at them, and it'll just have to be a surprise to you if I pull any from the back because I just don't want the whole thing to fall over on top of me. I did just order a new one, and I will say I'm very proud of this cart because I've had this since I worked in the schools, which was like 8 years ago. So it was a good run. So anyway, we're just gonna all cross our fingers that the books do not fall on me during this video, okay? So I think I wanna choose 7 books. I was debating between 6 or 7 because I know that I'll have one extra on top of that from my book club. So I think I'm gonna do 7. So that way, if I read the 7 plus my book club book, that'll be 8 books. I feel like that's pretty solid. I'm trying to actually read less this year than I did in 2024 because 2024 was a grind, and I feel like I didn't retain as much as I would have liked about each book. I didn't get to savor the reading experience for each book because I was really working to clear my TBR cart last year. So I think we're gonna choose 7 books together off the cart today. And if you are new to my TBR videos, you might be wondering what these sticky notes are. So I'm actually recording this pretty early in January. I think it's January 8th when I'm recording this, but I have a very full tail end of January, so I wanted to make sure that I got this video filmed. So these are books that I have pre-ordered that are gonna be on my cart during the month of February, so I can totally choose them for my monthly TBRs, So once I get the books, I'll take the sticky notes off, but these are the only 2 that I'm getting to potentially be a part of my February TBR. So we have January 28th, Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young, and then First Time Caller by B.K. Borison comes out on February 11th. I decided that if a book comes out the 15th or earlier in the month, I'll put it on a sticky note so that it can possibly be a part of that month's TBR. But if it comes out after the 15th, I just don't think that I'll get to it, or I don't want to feel like rushed, like I don't have enough time to read it. So if it's the first half of the month, it gets a sticky note. If not, it'll just be on the cart for when I do my next TBR video. So I want to point out, I did add a couple of new books to the TBR cart since you guys have last seen it. I added The Wedding People. I added 7 Days in June. The way that I'm so scared to touch these books that the cart is going to topple on top of me. I added A Man Called Ove, I think that's how you say it. I added 7 Summers by Paige Toon. I also added 1 memoir on here, so nonfiction, and it is The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. Emily Gilmore, we love her. I'm pretty sure those are the only books that I've added since you've last seen the TBR card. So let's get into it. We are gonna choose, like I said, 7. We're gonna go with 7. I feel like 6 is just not enough. I wanna choose 7. So our first prompt is a book with purple on the cover. A book with purple on the cover. I have a few books that I'm really wanting to read in February, and so I really hope that we get to choose them. I really want to read Heartless Hunter because Rebel Witch, the second one, comes out in February, and so if I do have time to read it, I think it comes out like the 18th or something, I want to be able to go right into it. So I really want to read Heartless Hunter in February. I really want to read Before I Let Go. I think those are the 2 that are standing out to me the most that I really want to be on my February TBR, but okay. Book with a purple cover. So we have Every Beautiful Mile, or with purple on the cover, so that makes it easier. Does Heartless Hunter have purple on the cover? Please, maybe? Wait, no, it doesn't. Okay. What about this one? This gives Valentine's Day, so I feel like it would be a really good one to read in February. Has lavender, but it's kind of pink. I guess that's questionable. Okay, So Every Beautiful Mile, this one, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Let's see. Well, it's on the spine. Is the spine part of the cover? Technically no, so I guess not. Mad Honey has purple on the cover. What about this one? Before I Let Go, no purple. Wow, purple is not a very popular cover color, I guess. What about this one? This one has purple. I think I'm gonna go with this one, The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. I've never read anything by this author and she's pretty high up on my TBR, but let me check to make sure that this isn't a part of a series because I don't know if You with a View and The X-Files, if they like go together, and I need to read that one first, so please hold while I do some research here. Okay, we are in the clear. It is not a part of a series and I am so excited to add this one to my TBR. So The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. Like I said, I haven't read anything by this author, but I have not heard anything negative about this book in particular. I really don't know much about it, but it has a blurb by B.K. Borson, whom I love, and Ali Hazelwood. So the little blurb at the top says, estranged exes must stick close together to save their best friend's wedding after a string of disasters in this swoony and steamy second chance romance. Okay, I'm a big fan of second chance romance, and I also love weddings in books, so I think this one is going to be right up my alley. So this is our pick for a book with purple on the cover. Shout out to the grapes for being on the cover. All right, going in for number 2, we have the first book you see on Instagram that's on your cart. All right, let me pull up Instagram here. So the very first book that I see is Flawless by Elsie Silver, but I've already read that. So let me scroll until I find one. There's Defined Rivals, already read that. Let me see if any of these are on my cart. Heartless Hunter, I could scream. I could literally scream. Whoever you are, Bookish Womberry, shout out to you for posting this photo right here because in your stack is Heartless Hunter. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Okay, wow. Amazing, amazing. This was honestly my #1 pick that I wanted to be on my February TBR. This will probably be my first read in February. I have truly been like on the edge of my seat wanting to read this. So, oh my gosh, okay, I'm so excited. So if you have not heard of this, it's a part of a duology. The second one, Rebel Witch, comes out later in February, and so that's why I wanted to really read this in February. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that this is gonna be like a 4.5 or a 5-star read for me. All that I know about it is that it's about a witch and a witch hunter. And that's honestly really all that I know. This has been on my radar to read for months. Like I've really wanted to dig into this. So the fact that we pulled it as our second book for the February TBR, could not be more excited. Could not be more excited. So we are adding Heartless Hunter to the February TBR. Shout out to Instagram for making this happen. So book number 2, I'm already so excited about this TBR. Like this is going a very good direction. Very, very good direction. Also, did I say we were gonna pick 6 or 7? I think 7. Okay, so going for number 3, longest book. I hate this prompt. I hate this prompt. Okay, oh no. Oh no. Are we gonna be reading Little Women in February? I think we are. I think we're gonna be reading Little Women in February. Unless, is there any way that this one's longer? Let's assess the situation. I doubt it, but let's just check. 609, and then Little Women, oh yeah, over 700. Is it 800? I'm scared. 777. Wait, are those the, yeah, 777 pages. So I guess we're gonna be reading Little Women. So I have to read Anne of Green Gables in January because it's my book club pick. And so I guess we are gonna continue reading one classic per month by adding Little Women to my February TBR. I'm terrified. This is terrifying. I've never read this book before. I've actually never seen, is it a movie? I've never seen the movie. I don't really know anything about it, but I know it's very beloved. I feel like it's a book that I just need to read, you know? So scared, but also excited. So that is the longest book. It is officially going on the February TBR. So let's put this one back on the cart and hope that the cart does not fall over onto me. Okay, amazing. And we are gonna go for prompt number 4. Let's go to the bottom. What's going on down at the bottom? A book that takes place outside of the US. So I don't know off the top of my head, but I think that, A Man Called Ove. I do all of his books. A lot of you guys corrected me because when I chose Beartown for my January TBR, I thought that it took place in Canada, and you guys let me know that it's actually Sweden. I wonder if this one also takes place in Sweden. Let me read and see. I was right, it does take place in Sweden. So we're gonna add this one to my TBR because I did already read Beartown, even though it's really early in January, and I loved it. I loved his writing style. So I am gonna add this, and I'm pretty sure this one's on Kindle Unlimited too. I saw that this morning actually, and I was like, wait, what? So we're gonna add A Man Called Ove. I've heard that this one is so moving. Whenever I hear people talk about it, I always think back to the storied life of AJ Fickery. I really don't know if they have anything, like any similarities, but just for some reason when people describe this one, it makes me think of that one. I read that book last year. It was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved it. And all that I know about this one is that our main character, Ove here, is a very, very, very grumpy old man. And so I'm assuming it's a story about how he kind of like connects with people, comes out of that grumpiness. I'm not sure, but I think that this is gonna be a very moving read based on what I've heard. So I am excited to add it to the TBR. We have a good stack going here. I'm liking the direction that the February TBR is going in. So let's see what we are going to choose for number 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. A book by an author you've never read before. I love this prompt because I have quite a few options on here. Like a lot of options. So I've never read anything by, who wrote The Wedding People? Alison Espach. Never read anything by this author. Jen DeLuca, never read anything by this author, never read anything by this author, never read anything by this author. This one is also new to me, never read anything by Sophie Cousins. Callie Hart, Liz Moore. Literally, I could choose so many books. So let me narrow it down to 3 and then we'll kind of talk through it. Okay, so I've narrowed it down to 3 books. So I have Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood, and The Good Part by Sophie Cousins. I tried to choose one that wasn't super long because I feel like Little Women, that's like 2 books, you know? So I'm like, okay, let me try to find one that's a little bit shorter. I know Before I Let Go is the longest of the 3, but I really, really, really want to read it. But I don't think I'm going to choose the Sophie Cousins book, but I also really want to read The Love of My Afterlife in February because this just looks like a February book to me. So let me read the back really quick. Okay, even though I said Before I Let Go is so high up on my TBR, and it is, I think I'm going to go with this one because I feel like this is going to be an emotional read. I have a feeling, I don't know if Little Women is emotional or not, but like it's not a light fluffy read, and I don't think this is not a light fluffy read. I just feel like we're lacking a light fluffy read, and so I want to make sure that I get at least one on there, and I have heard that this will rip my heart out and make me bawl my eyes out. I just don't know if I have that in me the same month that I read A Man Called Ove and a book as big as Little Women. And so yeah, I think we're gonna put this one back on the TBR cart and go with The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood, just because, like I said, I feel like I'm lacking some light, fluffy romance on the TBR, and it is February after all, so we need at least one, you know what I mean? So let's add these back to the TBR cart. So far so good with the cart not collapsing on me, so love that for me. All right, y'all, so we have 2 more prompts to choose out of the jar. A book with a 1-word title. Do I have any? A 1-word title. Quicksilver. Is that gonna be the one? Oh wait. Oh, Emma, I don't wanna read another classic. I can't do that. I can't do that to myself. 2 in 1 month, that's too much. I think Quicksilver is gonna be the only one. Wait, this doesn't need to be on my TBR card because I'm actually reading this in January, so I don't know why that's on there. My book club pick, and I bought a 2nd copy of it, so because I have no chill whatsoever when it comes to buying books, so that doesn't need to be on there. But I think Quicksilver is the only book on here that is a 1-word title. Okay, I am actually so excited to read this book. I got this for Christmas in my productivity membership. We did a gift exchange, and this was on my wish list. I have not heard one single bad thing about this book, and I'm gonna be so honest, I know nothing except that it's on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know a dang thing about the plot of this book, but for some reason, it just called out to me. I don't even like the cover. But just reading people's reviews, I was like, I'm intrigued. I want to read that. So let's read some of the back together. It says, do not touch the sword, do not turn the key, do not open the gate. Okay, so we're adding this to the TBR and we're going in without knowing very much at all, but I am excited to read it because number one, I get to read it on my Kindle. I really do prefer reading on my Kindle. And I also have not heard anything bad about this book. It's fantasy romance, and I feel like it's been a minute since I've gotten really engrossed in a good fantasy series. So we are gonna add this one to the TBR. Shout out to Melissa for getting it for me off of my wish list. And now we have 2 fantasies happening. So I feel like we're getting a good mix here on the TBR. And do we have 1 more to choose or 2 more to choose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 more. So this is our last prompt that we're gonna be choosing for my February TBR. And it says, random generator chooses a number. Okay, so let me put all the books here so that I can count more easily. Let's see, can I fit all the books now on the front? Does that mean I need to go book shopping again? So let me organize this and then we'll pull up a random number generator and we will count to see what our next read is. Please do not fall on me. Oh my gosh. I would love to read Kelly Bishop's memoir, honestly. Hold on. Okay, so we have all these ones here, all these ones here, these 2, which I'm gonna count at the front of this pile, and then we have 3 on the back, which I'll count at the end of this pile, and then we have these ones down here. So how many books do I have total? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 43 books on the TBR cart, so let me find a random number generator. Wait, did I say 43 or 47? I forgot. I'll put 47 and just hope for the best. Okay, so I put minimum 1, maximum 47, generate 28, okay? Oh, can you even see that? Probably not. I promise that it says 28. Okay, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh wait, I forgot these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. No! We were 1 away from Kelly Bishop's memoir. Did I count right? Should I count one more time? I'm bummed, but that's okay. So we're reading a lot of fantasy in February, a lot for me. I don't typically read a ton of fantasy. So book number 28 on the TBR cart is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. So this is book 2 of the Nightborn duet. I read The Serpent and the Wings of the Night a couple months ago, I think back in September or October, and I had such a good time. I really enjoyed it. So I am excited to continue this series. I just really wanted to read this memoir, especially because we got a lot of fantasy going on. But it'll be all right. It'll be all right. It's gonna push me out of my comfort zone. Who knows? Maybe it'll unlock like a new over-the-top love for fantasy for me. So those are the picks for my February TBR, plus whatever book we choose in my book club. So let's go over them really quickly together. So we have The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, Quicksilver, The Love of My Afterlife. Very glad I chose this one now because it's short and I feel like it's gonna be an easy, fluffy read. And with all these other things, fantasy, Little Women, A Man Called Ove, I feel like I'm gonna need this as a palate cleanser, you know? So we have that one. We have A Man Called Ove. We have Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Liz Hunter, I'm so excited, by Kristen Cicerelli. The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. The 2 that I'm most excited to read from this TBR right here. So excited. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me while I chose my February TBR. Let me put the lid back on my little TBR jar. We're gonna put it on the back of the TBR cart. And next time you see a TBR video, I'll have a new TBR cart. It's gonna look the same. I ordered another white one, but it will have 4 wheels. And we won't be panicking, or I won't be panicking, that the TBR cart is going to collapse on me mid-video. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. I appreciate you, and I hope you have the best day ever.